Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is it, man. I bumped myself up to category B, and it is off to a rough start, as you can tell, already off the back a little bit, only for a second though. This is the London Loop Reverse, the race like a pro. I think I've done this course one or two other times. I knew it had a pretty significant hill, but I knew there was only one hill, and it was more so longer. It wasn't terribly steep. Other than that, it was a nice long descent, and then pretty flat from there on out. So I thought I was actually going to be able to stand a chance, and I was very incorrect about that assumption. The hill spikes up a good amount of percent, and I had no recollection of that. But I am proud of myself because I stayed up with the group for the first 3 minutes, actually, and I didn't even expect to get that far. So here we are, we're out of the subway station, and we start climbing to the start of the climb. If that tells you anything about this climb, there's a climb just to the start of the climb. So up this 5-6% incline here, and then right about here, or here in a second, is where the climb actually starts. And in any category that I've ever raced on Zwift, as soon as there's any sort of incline, the group starts to get really strung out. I wasn't terribly discouraged by that because I'm up towards the front, and look at the mini map. There's a big train of guys, and I'm like right in the middle of it. Well, actually, I'm towards the front of it. I mean, 12%, that's nothing to shake a stick at. And I think I'm holding my own pretty good. I mean, sure, my heart rate is through the roof right now, but I'm doing okay. Granted, I'm going backwards at this point, but I was kind of proud of myself. It kind of tapers off a little bit and then goes back up, and it gets even steeper towards the top. And that's when I was getting pretty discouraged right around here, where it's like, okay, I was towards the front of the train, and now I'm very much in the back of the train. Only one more dot on the mini map behind me, and this is the more tame area of the hill. It's only 4%. And it was just like this sustained effort. We're looking at like a distance of almost like 2.5 kilometers or something, according to that VeloViewer map that was just up a minute ago. So it was just long, and it felt like it would never end. I mean, 4 or 5, and then it gets up to like 8, 10, 12% grade, and like I'm standing up, just putting down this effort, and it's like, okay, I'm spinning and spinning and spinning. I'm grinding. It's like nothing. I feel like I'm just going nowhere. So it's just really discouraging. And if I'm going anywhere, I'm going backwards because the distance between me and the guys in front of me is just increasing. So then these two guys, I was like, okay, maybe I can stay up with them. Like, don't let them get any further ahead. And I was trying to gauge it with that, and it didn't work. So then I tried it again with the next two guys, and it worked a lot better. I put in an effort, I stand up, and I catch onto the wheel of the one guy. I mean, it's 10% gradient. Like, there's no draft at that point. It's not like I'm going to, catch a free ride with him. But then once it levels out, I get over the top of the hill, and we go down the downhill. This is where I struggle. So I sped up a little bit, caught onto his wheel, passed him. And then in my course recon, I was like, oh, there's a sweet long downhill that's real steep. I'm going to super tuck the whole thing. So I did. This super tuck, no joke, was just shy of 120 seconds. I was ecstatic about that. Not only that, this dude, Mr. T. Campbell, pedaled the entire time. So it's just me and him at the bottom of the hill, and I knew there's one spike in gradient, and it's going to be right here. It's going to be on the plywood over the stairs in the subway station. So I thought to myself, here's my strategy. I'm going to attack on this uphill portion, and then for the next couple of miles, it's pretty flat, and I'm going to just try to sustain an effort and try to get a gap on him, and it actually freaking worked. Look at this. I got 2-3 seconds on him. It's this 4 or 5% grade going over this bridge. There's a couple guys in front of me, a few seconds. Now I got 3 seconds on the guy behind me, and the time is slowly going down on the people in front of me, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, it worked. It actually worked. And then it did work until it didn't work, which, as to be expected. This is my first real category B race since I've bumped myself up now. I'm like getting there, trying to catch this dude. And meanwhile, the guy behind me is slowly but surely closing the gap behind us. So we're going to keep an eye on his time. And now it's down to 2 seconds as the gradient goes up yet again. And okay, here he is. Now he's not only caught me, he has passed me. So now it's just like, okay, I am so gassed. And I actually was planning on doing a doubleheader race, this one, and then about an hour later doing a second one. But in the second half of my workday, my eyes got very tired and heavy. My wife has been sick for a few days. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to absolutely decimate my body for 2 races. I'm going to call it with the one. So I apologize if you were anticipating me being in the second race. I knew when to call it quits. And this, I mean, with a high heart rate as much as it was, my recovery was actually pretty good. I was in the green, like 70% something, according to my Whoop. So I'm just trying to stay up with these guys. And honestly, it might not look like it, but I am fighting tooth and nail to stay up with them. I'm trying to get a little draft. I'm trying to work together with them. It's only a couple miles of a relatively flat section, but it seemed to just roll ever so slightly. There'd be a rise, 2, 3, 4%. And go down 2, 3, 4%, and kind of just ebb and flow like that. And it just, I don't know, gassed me. And I mean, a lot of it's got to be not feeling too hot. And then at this point, they kind of just go away with it. And I just don't have it. It's not that I'm not trying. I don't have the chops for B. And honestly, going into it with only 36 riders in the whole race, it was like, okay, can I be in like the top 20? I kind of started out in pretty good standings. And then in typical fashion, if you're not first over that hill, especially me, you're going to get dropped on the downhill. That's basically what happened. So, I mean, I just cruise across the finish line. Man, I did what I could. So I got the 25th or whatever on Zwift Power. It came out to 22nd. 25 minutes, 27 seconds, average 3.0 watts per kilograms, average power of 230 for the 25 minutes. So, man, I'll take it. B is brutal. B is, boy, you better work. Boy, you best close that gap. It's a lot of other things, but I'd like to stay here because ideally I'd like to get a lot stronger. So, give me some encouragement other than being sick and needing to continue to recover and be 100% for these races. What insight can you guys give to me? I would love to learn from it. So I appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next one.